Okay, we're going to try this again. Again, we've prayed, so I'm not sure who this is for, so have at it. I and probably 98 plus percent of every person that you call black in America are descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, the enemy has you incredibly fooled about us. He's basically telling you, hey, you know what? The remedy is worse than the poison because he knows he's the poison. He's got you believing that we're someone that we're not. And as we begin to wake up and the awakening has begun, that's on us. But what's on you is the judgment. Here's the deal. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten being, Yeshua HaMashiach. We all know this. But guess what? If you are a so-called Christian and your Christianity is based on even the established word that we use, let's just stick to the 66 books that are commonly used, though there are others. We'll stick to the 66. If you call yourself a Christian, then the basis of your faith is on that 66 books. If it's not, please, someone correct me. Therefore, Christian means follower of Christ, which means the big kahuna, our king, our Elohim, our Yeshua HaMashiach, is the bee's knees. He's all that. He's the Alpha. He's the Omega. He's King of Kings. Anyway, if you believe that, then you really can't ignore his words. See, he said that we'll be the salt of the earth. And a lot of people in the so-called Christian church hijacked that to think that he was talking about them. No. Oh, wait a minute. But no, they didn't yet exist. He wasn't talking about, quote unquote, the church. Who was he talking about? Who's the salt of the earth? Well, first let's look at salt. What does salt do? Salt makes things palatable, flavorful, but also, if you live out in the country and you don't have refrigeration, you salt your meat. And you can keep it through the seasons without refrigeration. Okay, so we know what salt does. And he called us the salt. Why? We are truly a preservative. You just don't understand it yet. Now, let's go back to the Messiah. What did he say? This isn't my opinion. This isn't your opinion. This isn't Reverend Diggity Dog's opinion or Pastor Say Hey Hey's opinion. This isn't the rabbi's opinion, the Pope's opinion. This is thus saith the word of Yah. He said, look here, and I'm going to paraphrase him. You look it up for yourself. That which you do to the least of these. Okay, let's stop right here. He said to the least of these. That means that there is a greater of these. That means that there is a middle of these. See, he's talking about a people. We are a nation within this nation. We always have been, and until we leave, we always will be. So he's talking about a people. And he said, that which you do to the least of these, to let you know he's talking about a particular people, my brethren. Who is his brethren? He's Hebrew, of the tribe of Judah. Israel is his brethren. See, he is my kinsman, redeemer. You do to me. See, there are two quick ways to get a blessing that people, to their own detriment, ignore. One involves me, one doesn't. But they both can be quickly had. Okay, let's establish something. First off, it is impossible that Yah should lie. Period. Let's just get that established. If you don't believe that, you shouldn't be listening to this anyway. So Yah says in his word that if you read the book of Revelations, a special blessing is given to you, the reader, and to anyone who hears it. If you use your eye gate while reading, or your ear gate while listening, or your mouth gate, if you speak when you read, or if you're reading it to another. There are blessings that are promised by the Most High. He keeps it. He don't lie. But I told you there's two that we're going to talk about. The other one does involve me. And I don't mean me specifically. I mean anyone who looks like me. Anyone who you would call, in America, a black person. Well, what do you mean? Well, what did Jesus say? That which you do to the least of these, my brethren, you do to me. So every time you saw me and you said, hey, good morning, and I say good morning, you said good morning to the Messiah. But if as you cross my path, you said, nigger, you just called the Messiah the N-word. If you helped me up when you saw me fall, you helped the Messiah up. If you ignored my plight, you ignored the Messiah. See, we are salt. Who else is he going to give? He gives his own to test this world. He gives his own to help this world. And he told you he would do so. He told you that he chose us as his own. We didn't choose us. This isn't something we joined or created. This is our bloodline. What man among you can choose his bloodline? And if you can, please show me how you did it, unless you're some kind of clone. I'm speaking purely to humankind. You can't. Be careful how you treat us. Because when you read Joel chapter 3, you're going to see when he comes, he's going to ask you if you should happen to still be alive. What did you do to my children? How did you treat my children? Some of you love us with a genuine love. Some of you hate us without really understanding why you do. It's the Garden of Eden all over again. The enemy told Eve in the garden, don't listen to what thus saith Yah. Listen to what I say. You can eat that. He just knows, yada, 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 yada. The Most High Yah says, that which you do to the least of us, you do to him. The enemy says, don't believe that. They're not of him. You are. You're on top. Yada, yada, yada. He's depending on the fact that you won't read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Go into repentance while there's still time. Because we're leaving. Shalom.